Hey guys, welcome to the pod team. My name is AJ.
Hello guys, this is Lex. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the US Army. AJ, did you ever thought about going to the army or to the
Uh,
military?
Honestly, I'm brown. I've never thought about going into the army. I always thought they would put me on the front lines.
Really?
I mean, the wars that they were fighting against, mostly when I was in high school, was against like Iraq, Afghanistan. Me
Yeah.
from an Indian background, n- did not feel comfortable at that time being in the
Yeah.
army. You know, I felt like,
Yeah, it's
maybe I would get criticized. People might, think I'm, with the enemy or something. I had those doubts, even though maybe I could be wrong. But that's, at that time, that's what I was thinking in my head. So I never thought about joining the army or the Marines. I always thought it would be cool, but I always did like the army workouts and stuff, but I don't think I would be able to join the army. I think they give a tremendous sacrifice. I think it's a very honorable thing to do to fight for your country. Uh, but you know, I always thought that you know, if you're enlisted in the army, I mean, they have amazing benefits. Obviously, they have great things that they do for the army, but I feel like a lot of that has, dimmed down. I think veterans are not being appreciated. They're not getting the actual packages to help them. And, it's not very beneficial right now to join the army because I feel like a lot of people that are growing up are growing up thinking this country is out to get them. So I think that's another reason why a lot of people aren't signing up to join the army.
well, was it easy at your time when you were in high school? Were they trying to recruit you? I mean, how pushy were they?
Yeah, yeah, they would come to the high school. They would, say, "Oh, how many pull-ups can you do? This and that." If you did X amount of pull-ups, and they'll probably be like, "Hey, you know what? You should join." Um, Even whenever you go to some marathons and stuff over here in Houston or Dallas or Chicago, where I've ran marathons, there's always this post a station where there's like a bunch of people from the army marines or something like that with the pull-up bar push-up plates on you know and then they say, hey, do you want to join the army? You'll get this kind of you'll get this kind of benefits. You'll get free education. So I mean, people that are like, for example, Ron DeSantis at that time when 9/11 happened, that was one of the reasons where he decided to choose the path of, enlisting. Uh, and a lot of people did because at that time our country was under attack. And because it was under attack, a lot of pride and patriotism, came about. But now I think, what happens is, when people feel very safe and secure, especially in this country, the only thing that people are worried about is the citizens of the country that are going out shooting people randomly. But other than that, there's barely any international threat. Knock on wood. I hope there won't be.
Not
But
in here.
yeah, but when there is like an international threat, and uh I think that's when people will start, coming together because you got to remember Pearl Harbor, same thing. If history decides something, everyone in, was enlisting in that time. And even then, I think the government was saying that, you have to be a certain age, you have to go. It was like, uh, if you were a male, you were basically enlisting. and it gave you a sense of pride. It gave you a sense of responsibility. But now I think a lot of people are so like, mm, how do you say? You know how when there was the Vietnam War, Korean War,
Yeah.
and a lot of those, the hippie generation, the uh, generation that basically would protest for peace and everything. I think there's a lot of people that, after in those 30, 40 years, a lot of those people's messages have basically went out to the newer generation nowadays that want to promote peace and everything, that want to fight for everyone's rights, no matter what color skin you are. And I think now it's just expanded to like, so much that, oh, this particular group is needs help, this particular group needs help, this particular group needs help, and the focus has been so much on so many things that a lot of people don't really appreciate what the army, the marines, the navy, the air force, space force is actually doing.
Yeah,
So
it is a little um concerning about, and the reason, guys, we are talking about this is because I was reading an article today about the U.S. Army in general, the U.S. military, and there's a deficit right now. They were under their goal in 2022, roughly about 30,000 members. They missed their goal by 30,000, give it or take, recruits. So that means that they lost more than that because probably a good number of people from Army, Air Force, Marines, Navy, a good number of those guys retire.
yeah,
And they were talking about there are a couple of reasons why. And one of the main reasons is because people who's coming back from the army are telling the new generation not to do it because at the end of the day, they feel like when they come back, the government doesn't have their back. Benefits are not great. A lot of veterans end up, but in the street, possibly homeless, drug addicts. They lose a leg, arms, their life changes, and to them, it's not worth it anymore because some of these guys don't believe what they're fighting for. So that is a problem for this country.
yeah. I
You
mean,
cannot be you cannot be a powerful country or nation without a big army. And if you
it,
have a go ahead.
one of that Spider-Man quote, with great responsibility comes, great power. I mean, with great power comes great responsibility. Uh, I think the US has acquired a lot of power, and with
And
that comes
enemies.
a lot of responsibility because, yeah, you're right. They definitely acquired a lot of enemies, not only internally, but, obviously externally. So you can't forget what your purpose as this country was. And I think a lot of things that are happening around the world, I think a lot of these soldiers are coming back home and saying, you know what, this is not what I signed up for, and this is not what I believe in. But not only are we not having their back, are these soldiers feeling safe while they're even here? Because remember the incidences with like Fort Hood, and a lot of other, obviously, incidents that happened during, the, in during, being on the in service, uh and a lot of them go without being reported. So it's a very complicated situation to be into. You have to, it's not like regular, like, you can file a report to the police or anything like that. File a report in the army, it goes to certain people that, could easily dismiss it, or,
Like it.
basically overlook it and act like nothing, it's nothing. And the bottom line is that America needs to, really get its stuff together. Maybe, America spends a lot of money on defense, but a lot of it does not go to, the servicemen and women, and it probably goes to the technology. So maybe in the next war, I think America is being prepared to, like, not even send, you know, their citizens or their servicemen. So it could be like the drones, they manually can drive it. Uh, uh there's a
remotely.
lot of autonomous things that they're probably bringing into, their weaponry. So
Some of the guys
but
that
there should be always, something, you never know when it comes. So, I'm pretty sure America usually always prepares for that. And we have the best in the world in whatever it is. So, I mean, when push comes to shove, we'll see how America responds to this 30,000 members that are short. I hope they do the right thing. If
that was
people are
only
fighting for you, yeah.
that was only for 1 year. They were short
Uh,
on their goal. So think about it. If they don't reach their goal this year again, it's gonna be a problem.
yeah,
And I have had the opportunity to talk to veterans, and some of these guys they don't have a good opinion after they come back from war. Everything's great when they go to war. If promises and promises, and when
empty
they come
promise.
back, yeah, because they apply for jobs and they don't have the experience they need to get that job, so they don't get the job. To me, if somebody comes back from the service, I don't think they need to have much of experience to get a job.
Correct.
Like anybody else, they
Or they
have
should they
this.
should have the opportunity to at least, learn the experience, like
Yes,
get free programs to, teach them that experience.
my respect to everybody that was in the army and is going to go to the army or Marines, Navy, Air Force, whatever choice they have. I have a lot of respect for them because it takes dedication. It takes a lot to go and fight for this country. I was I wanted to go to the Marines when I was younger, and I just didn't. I changed my mind, but I do have a lot of respect for the ladies and gentlemen who are going, and and I hope if they do decide to go, future generations, things are gonna be different for them. In terms of there's not gonna be much of like if that's going to be possible. But yeah, AJ, I was surprised when they said that because that would be a long-term problem for this country. Like you said, they put their money in different places and they don't pay attention to their where they need to be focused on, which is the real people. People needs after they come back, they need benefits. If they got hurt, they need to have a better hospitals, maybe a better system, medical system, where these guys are not going to be in need of anything or put in a huge list that they had to wait probably a year, 6 months, who knows how long for them to get help.
Well, if I was
But
in if I was doing that, if the the legislators are saying, why is this the case, I would definitely put, well, the leadership should also take responsibility because the leadership isn't acting in the servicemen and women's best interest. So I would put into account these leaders that we have, political leaders that are never held accountable. They always like to play the billion game, like, oh, this party did this party did that. But it is what it is. And tell us, guys, what you think. Let us know in the comments if you
guys,
are a
please,
serviceman or woman, what could be done to better
better.
assist you.
Yeah,
And Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Agent. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I was gonna close the comments now.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was gonna say too, what you just want to add to what you said. If any of you guys went to, is a veteran or are in the service right now, just please let us know if how it is, what could the government do better for you guys, and subscribe. Just let us know what you think and give us the like button. Thank you guys.
Bye bye.